Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County. My name is Linda Stellick. My pronouns are she, ella. I serve as grounds chair. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. This morning, we welcome a guest musician, Evan Schwartzman, a pianist and composer. He received his master's in theory and composition from Rutgers University. As a pianist, he's given recitals as soloist and chamber musician throughout the New York metropolitan area. His work can be found on CG&J Recordings, Smithsonian Folk Recordings, and all the usual streaming services. I draw your attention to the back of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those of you on live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. If you're new to us, please do visit our website, UUCMCNJ, where you can sign up to get all the latest news of the congregation by email. We look forward to getting to know you better. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together. Welcome again to this place of love and hope.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Craig Rubano. It is good to be together this morning or any time we gather as a community, with love at the center, living out our values in this world that so desperately needs them. Thank you for being present to one another, whether here in the Earth Room or on the live stream, or any time you care to take this service off the shelf of our YouTube library and remind yourself or family or friends of the power of this community. Our theme for the month of November is repair, and I know that many of us are in a felt state of disrepair larger than can be completely remedied this morning. On the other hand, it is not insignificant that we have one another close. I'm going to invite us to acknowledge the blessing it is to be here in this beloved sanctuary as we hear our call to worship, with the word worship understood in its original meaning of a shaping concern for all that is of worth. The Reverend Joan Javier Duval serves as minister of the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, Vermont, and this morning I offer these, her words. Here is where you can lay it down. Lay down all that you have carried, the weight of the world that has rounded your back, leaving you aching and exhausted. Here is where healing begins, where burdens are set down and alongside one another's, their magnitude does not seem as great. Here is where the door is thrown open and the light can lift away the shadows and what was hidden can now be seen. Here is where you can rest, where nothing is expected but that you bring all of who you are into the presence of the holy and of this loving community. Come, let us worship together. This is our chalice, a cup with a stem and a foot, surrounding by the overlapping circles of the traditions of Unitarianism and Universalism, from which this Unitarian Universalist faith movement of seekers emerged in the 1960s, all connected in a tree of life. Each week, we light a flame in this chalice. When we do so, we reenact a symbol that was born in wartime by World War II era artist Hans Deutsch. He created the symbol to enable the work of the Unitarian service committees, giving safe passage out of Europe to those fleeing persecution by the Nazi regime. In giving light to this vessel, we remind ourselves that it is we who make this place holy, sacred, by our having gathered with intention. And in this context, First Amendment and human rights educator, the Reverend Nathan C. Walker, asks that we take the time to breathe. Will you breathe with me? Breathing in, I am aware of my pain. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my pain. Breathing in, I am aware of my past. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my past. Breathing in, I am aware of my anger. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my anger. Breathing in, I am aware of my despair. Breathing out, I am aware that I am not my despair. Breathing in, I am aware of peace. Breathing out, I am aware that I am worthy of peace. Breathing in, I am aware of love. Breathing out, I am aware that I am worthy of love. Breathing in, I am aware of joy. Breathing out, I am aware that I am an agent of joy. Breathing in, I am aware of hope. Breathing out, I am aware that I am an agent of hope. Breathing in and breathing out, I am aware. This is Veterans Day Sunday, the Sunday closest to the anniversary of World War I's armistice on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. Today, as we salute the flag of this country, we bring to mind and honor all those who have served in the preservation of this American experiment in democracy. May the determination our veterans have shown stay in all of our hearts as we come ever more deeply to realize the sobering truth that democracy has always been a struggle to gain and requires ongoing vigilance to maintain. I invite us to rise in body and our spirit to sing our opening hymn, number 148 in our hymnals, and on the screens, Let Freedom Span Both East and West. Let freedom span both east and west, and love both south and north, in universal fellowship throughout the whole wide earth. In beauty, wonder everywhere, let us communion find. Compassion be the golden cord close binding humankind. Beyond all barriers of race, of color, caste, or creed, let us make friendship human worth our common faith and deed. Then east and west will meet and share, and south shall build with north, one human commonwealth of good throughout the whole wide earth. As I said at the top of our service, our theme for November is repair. And our younger people's family ministry curricula have conceptualized repair as a practice of living out and spreading liberating love. This month, there is a focus on 4 tools of repair. Memory, the tool to repair loss. Honesty, the tool to repair lies. Democracy, the tool to repair not having a say. And kindness, the tool to repair, well, so many things. Did you know that this week, Wednesday, November 13th, is World Kindness Day? Celebrated in many countries around the globe. World Kindness Day highlights good deeds in communities and the positive power of kindness for the good. Kindness is an important part of being a Unitarian Universalist, for it is a form of love we offer each other in our goal of putting love at the center of all we do. So with that in mind, I want to share a short story with you called Cookies, Kindness, and More Cookies. So a young woman was in the airport's departure area waiting for her flight home. After there was an announcement of a delay, she bought a small bag of chocolate chip cookies to enjoy while she waited. She made her way to the airport lounge to sit and relax, and she sat down to enjoy her cookies and read her book. Beside her sat a pleasant young man reading his book, the bag of cookies between them. Neither spoke. The young lady took and ate a cookie. Then, much to her surprise, the young man also took a cookie. He said nothing. She said nothing, but was clearly bothered. For each cookie she took, he did the same. Again, no words or looks were exchanged, but her anger grew. This continued until there was only one cookie left. Then the man took the last cookie, divided it in half, eating one half, and leaving the other half in the bag. Wow, that was it. She was so infuriated and bothered by his lack of consideration that she packed up her things and moved. Well, soon she boarded her flight, took her seat, began to settle in for her trip, still very upset by the young man's lack of manners. Craving some soothing music, she went into her purse to find her ear pods, and suddenly her heart sank. There, in her purse, was her bag of cookies. Unopened, untouched. The young man hadn't been taking her cookies. He had been kindly sharing his cookies with her. She was full of regret, but also overwhelmed by the kindness he had offered her. This young man had generously shared his cookies without saying a word. He even gave her half of his last one. He wasn't upset or worried about her actions. He was just incredibly kind. The young woman contemplated the ability we all have at any given moment of our days to choose kindness. The young man could have gotten angry, he could have yelled, he could have snatched his bag of cookies away, especially as the woman began to get upset with him. But he didn't. Instead, he chose to show kindness, to make the woman's day a bit better and brighter, simply because he could. This story reminds us that we always have a choice. We can look out at the world and imagine people are out to take what we have. Or we can look at the world as full of opportunities to be kind, to repair the selfishness and meanness of the world by spreading kindness and love. The choice is always ours, even when it would appear that someone is stealing our cookies. Let us bless our younger people and their leaders as they repair to their small groups with Go Now in Peace. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Every week in this congregation, we're provided with an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation and to our social justice partners through the good works of organizations which receive half the monies collected each month. Our Share the Plate recipient for the month of November is Food Justice at Trinity in Asbury Park, whose mission is to be in solidarity with neighbors with immediate needs of hunger, housing, employment, physical and mental health, while organizing to change systemic injustice. The organization partners with local organizations to try and provide healthy and locally grown food. For those of you who are present here in the meeting house, the plates will be passed by the ushers. You may also join this time of generosity via text, send your offering by mail, or charge your contribution online with a memo designating an amount to Food Justice at Trinity in Asbury Park. Please give generously.
This morning, I am finding comfort in the word complexity of our theme for the month of November, repair. Now, stick with me for a moment. I know not all enjoy geeking out on the meanings of words as much as I. But the English word repair is a fascinating one, for it contains within it not only an act of restoration, but also hints on the means to accomplish it. Not only fixing something, but notions on how to go about it. It turns out that the English word repair has two Latin word origins. Reparare, To pair, again, prepare, which leads to the most commonly thought of meanings of repair, putting together that which has been broken, or restoring something to wholeness, remedying, making good, renewing. But repair is also derived from the Latin word repatriare, to repatriate, to go back, to go home again, which leads to second meanings of the word, to betake oneself, to go, and importantly, a sense of doing it in the company of others, to come together, to rally. Therefore, a sentence containing both meanings might be, that week of the elections, in order to practice repair, we as a community repaired to the meeting house. Well, which is exactly what a good number of us did on Wednesday evening for a reparative potluck, and why so many of us are here this morning. We have repaired to a place of gathering with others in order to repair, to find our way again, to go home, as it were, together. At times like this, I know the propensity for some might well be to get moving, reacting, acting in service of our values, to engage in the meaning of the word repair that emphasizes rallying. And on Friday, UUCMC did just that, joining faith communities across New Jersey in signing onto a pledge and call for action for strengthening and safeguarding the protections that make the Garden State a safe haven for all LGBTQ+ people, and to affirm our collective commitment to equality and protection. It felt important to rally, to repair to a place of radical hospitality as a collective people of faith. And there will surely be many such opportunities that we can join and create in order to be clear and prominent in our advocacy of values of inclusion and protection, reparation, planetary conservancy. I also know that many of us have much for which to grieve right now. Many of us are scared. And it is vital, as we explored last week at our All Souls service, to account for and to engage in adequate grieving for all the many different kinds of loss we may be experiencing. It is important to rest, to eat properly, to exercise, to repair our bodies and minds from an existential disequilibrium. I urge us to love generously, beginning with loving ourselves. Eventually, to practice repair, to repair our sense of unbalance, we will need to seek out a larger community, to be in the presence of greater complexity. There are any number of individual reasons for the voting actions of our fellow citizenry, and ascribing motivations to them in one-dimensional ways will not help us to work together in the future. But first, to repair ourselves. I want to share something a friend of mine shared with me on Wednesday morning, and that can serve us going forward. Film and theater composer and songwriter David Friedman not only writes beautiful music and lyrics, but is a motivational author and speaker across the country, creator of a metaphysical method he calls the thought exchange. He advocates for the manifestation of new ways of living by reminding us through embodied practices that we are not the sum of our thoughts or feelings, but have the power to enact new pathways forward with intentionality and kindness towards ourselves and others. I invite you to sit comfortably, Close your eyes if that helps you to focus. And live into this meditation from my friend David. Take a breath. Notice your sensations, whatever they are. If your body hurts, if you have a sinking feeling in your chest, just notice and be with your sensations without doing anything about them, without trying to get away from them, without giving them meaning. Just be. Now, notice your thoughts. Again, whatever they are, just notice them. Without trying to do anything about them, react to them, take action, change them. Just notice your thoughts. They are just thoughts. Now notice who is noticing all this. You are not your sensations. You are not your thoughts. You are certainly not the circumstances that occur around you. Who you are is a consciousness looking at all of this. Who you are is an awareness having an experience. This you is unassailable and cannot be increased or decreased by events, sensations, or thoughts. You just notice them from a safe, untouchable, and infinite place. Let's see if we can use this time as an opportunity to reconnect to who we really are, which is consciousness, which is oneness, which is love. I know many of you, like I, experience healing, repairing power in music. One of David's songs is the centerpiece of the inspirational concert I began here and took to New York City this year. As a prayer this morning, I offer it again to you. So many things we can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight Nobody really wants to go to war. Everyone wants to make things right. So what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hand. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it, you and I, do or die. We've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind. Amen. I was reminded again this week of the power of creativity to repair. And I reread a portion of Hermann Hesse's Steppenwolf, as one does. I read it with new appreciation. Writing in the fraught period between two world wars, Hesse wrote, "There are times when a whole generation is caught between two ages, two modes of life, with the consequence that it loses all power to understand itself and has no standard, no security, no simple acquiescence." We are living now through such a world, confused and conflicted, suffocating and suffering. But we have a powerful instrument for self-understanding, for cutting through the confusion, to draw from these civilizational phase transitions new and stronger structures of possibility. We have the creative spirit. Hesse goes on, "Artists nourish the goodness of the human spirit with such strength and indescribable beauty that it is flung high and dazzlingly over the wide sea of suffering, and the light of it, spreading its radiance, touches others too with its enchantment." In that spirit of the power of creativity, we have a piece of good news this morning. I invite Jennifer Thomas to share it with us all.
Thank you, Craig. As I am almost every Sunday, I'm reminded of how special music is in our congregation. Today was no exception. And I'm here to give you what I think is very good news as a representative of the search committee for our music director, which you know we've been absent without one since August, but have been filled in very ably by Elaine Held and a host of wonderful guest musicians. We are so fortunate to have access to and love of so many in our community. Before I announce, I just want to thank the hardworking members of the search committee. We were chaired by David Fischel. Elaine Held was there, Liz Tortorella, PJ Casbar, Bob Kelly, David Schreier, and myself. I think I got everybody. Hardworking group. We had several screenings on Zoom. After we'd posted the job description in many different places, we interviews and had 3 auditions with 3 very good candidates. And I'm very happy to announce that we have chosen, and that offer has been accepted by Mr. Michael Rosen, a New Jersey man, and his first Sunday will be with us January 19th. So I hope you will all welcome him. He's an accomplished pianist, organist, and harpsichordist, and has about a decade of experience in teaching and directing music, as well as accompanying. He even accompanied Reverend Craig during our audition, and that was a home run for sure. So I look forward to getting to know Michael, and I hope you will make him welcome starting in January. Thanks.
There's a very special hymn in our Unitarian Universalist collection that I've chosen to close our time together this morning. Set to the gorgeous musical theme of Sibelius's Finlandia, its words were written by the director of a joint Unitarian and Universalist youth group, which served as the model for cooperation that led in 1961 to the merging of and transformation of 2 Christian denominations into a faith movement, which has continued ever since to be in a necessary state of widening. For we need ever to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding, if we would be one. Let us rise in body and our spirit to sing number 318 in our gray hymnal and on the screens. Be one, as now we join in singing our hymn of love, to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free. I invite you to take your seats. After I offer some closing words of benediction, Evan and our very own Joel DeWitt will offer us the poignant second movement of Antonin Dvorak's Symphony No. 9, From the New World. In this piece, the composer uses Native and African American themes to express the spirit of possibility he experienced in these United States of America in 1893. Our benediction comes to us from author and civil rights activist James Baldwin, from his Nothing Personal, a deep probe into the American condition, both an indictment and an expression of hope. I wondered when I was little how my father and mother bore it, for I knew that they had much to bear. It had not yet occurred to me that I also would have much to bear, but they knew it, and the unimaginable rigors of their journey helped them to prepare me for mine. This is why one must say yes to life and embrace it wherever it is found, and it is found in terrible places. Nevertheless, there it is. For nothing is fixed. Forever and forever and forever it is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. The sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born, and we are responsible to them because we are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails, lovers cling to each other, and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out. Our thanks to Joel DeWitt and to Evan Schwartzman. Beautiful. Beautiful. Please hold me in your thoughts as I travel to Mexico this afternoon. I have several meetings scheduled this week with social justice nonprofits with which I hope for us to work alongside in this congregational year. I will be taking UUCMC's greetings to the UU Fellowship of San Miguel de Allende. And unlike many of those who are posting online about leaving the country, I do plan to return. Let us go in peace to bless this world.